In November of 2023, and many of you might be aware of this, our national office, the General Synod of the Anglican Church of Canada, was actually hacked by cyber hackers, and we lost money from its bank account. Money was eventually recovered, but it certainly exposed the vulnerability. Last year, just actually in recent months, there was an incident in the Episcopal Church of the United States of America, our sister church to the south, in the Diocese of West Tennessee, where emails were going out across the diocese from the bishop and from clergy and other church leaders. And the emails and text messages were asking for money or wire transfers or gift cards. All of the names were very familiar to people receiving them. Unfortunately, the responses went directly to fraudsters, and that became quite a serious incident. It's a reality that in today's digital age, all of us are exposed to cyber incursions, cyber hackers of one sort or another. They mean to disrupt businesses and organizations, and in many cases do illegal and harmful activities. So everything from ransom attacks to phishing schemes, we are vulnerable. There was a time where we sort of saw it in the news and you think, okay, well, these things happen to stores or businesses or schools or government systems. But the reality is that we have lots of information in parishes that are of interest and have been the subject of cyber incursions in the past. And the reality is that anybody who uses a computer that's connected to the internet is vulnerable to a cyber threat. And again, in parishes, we have lots of information that's of interest. If you think about what's in our holdings, so personal information about our parishioners, names, addresses, email addresses, pictures. We have donation information, people's bank accounts potentially, or credit card information. And then of course, a lot of our financial records are online. And that's just the reality, and it's kind of the world that we live in. The incident that I mentioned in West Tennessee, that's called phishing. Phishing is an email or text message that looks legitimate, but has very fraudulent results and means. And there's actually a new scam, and these fraudsters and cyber hackers, the technology continues to evolve. In law enforcement, as Linda mentioned, that's my background, law enforcement is always just trying to keep up with the latest in badness. Trying to get ahead of it is a really big challenge, but just trying to keep up with the badness. But this new scam that's now come online is called quishing, where fraudsters are actually sending fake QR codes. So, just something else to be aware of. The good news is there are things that we can do. And the first line of defense is awareness, which is really why we are here today. There are great resources available from the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity, the RCMP, and many other sources. October in the world is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And this year in the diocese, we're going to give it a real big focus and help get word out across the diocese. So you'll see information in crosstalk, and we will use our social media channels and platforms and have information that you can amplify in parishes. Synod is in October, so that will be very timely. So that will give us an opportunity. We'll have an on-site presence at Synod, and again, help make people aware. And there are things that people can do now. Some simple things like changing passwords or having passwords that are complex and not easy to hack. For any password, it should always be a mix of letters and numbers and symbols, uppercase, lowercase. Passwords should be changed regularly, and make sure that you're in a parish that you're not using the same password for every account, that you are making passwords difficult to intercept. Another simple step is to ensure that your envelope secretary and your parish treasurer are backing up the data that they keep. Once data is lost, it's pretty much gone. So a regular backup of data onto an external hard drive, whether it's, again, your envelope information or your parish financial records, that's an important way to safeguard and to mitigate against loss. And as I mentioned, cybersecurity is very much an evolving process. We're not even, we could spend an entire workshop talking about cybersecurity, and I haven't even mentioned artificial intelligence, which is a whole other world of opportunity and threat and challenge. And of course, we also have to consider social media and internet safety. So a very big and growing field. I think the time has come where parishes are going to want to consider having a cybersecurity champion on your parish council, someone who can sort of lead the effort in the parish and help with that awareness raising and make sure that you are kind of implementing systems. Are we updating the software on our computers to make sure that we're up to date on antivirus information? So today, as I say, we really just wanted to kind of raise the profile of cybersecurity in the diocese. We're going to be talking a lot more about it. It's important for parish leaders to be mindful of. On one of the slides that you'll see in the deck, when you get that, there are links to some very helpful resources. Secure links. You can tell they're secure because in the URL there's the padlock, which means that you are accessing a secure site, so it can be trusted. So I would encourage you to, again, start to raise awareness in your parish, get people thinking about it, think about the steps that we can collectively take, and that will help keep us free and safe from cyber badness. So thank you. Sorry, question. Great question. So the question was about information that we have in our parishes, perhaps information about parishioners, with home addresses and phone numbers and things like that. And it's important for us to be able to share that information within our parish so that, parish leaders and groups have access to information that will be helpful to them and that they need for kind of proper and appropriate uses. So I think the short answer is yes, we need to share that information, but we need to make sure that we're doing it in a safe and secure way. So again, if you're kind of keeping that list in, perhaps on a database of some kind, it might be a simple Excel spreadsheet. There are ways that you can share it to fellow parishioners or parish leaders using perhaps, a password protected email that parish leaders only have the password. Maybe you want to create a simple, secure portal on your website that, again, only parish leaders have access to. So there are ways to continue to do business and share information to people who need the information, but there are ways to do it in a safe way that you're mitigating against the risk that makes it vulnerable. Great question. The question was about, do we have diocesan policies around some of the things that we've been talking about? And the answer is, it's something that we've been talking about, certainly in Ascension House and with senior staff, and it's certainly something that we are going to move to. Working clearly with our Chancellor, Henry Schultz, who will provide good legal advice and seeking the advice of others. But I think, going forward in doing some research, it's kind of hit and miss. The Anglican Church of Canada does not have policies at this point. Some parishes do, one or two dioceses do. The Presbyterian Church of Canada, if you want to Google them, they actually have some very strong policies. And so as we kind of think about our diocesan policy going forward, we'll do that environmental scan and look at best practices and lessons learned and consult with IT and cyber experts. And I think develop some diocesan guidelines that will help, making sure that we've got a common approach. Easy for me to commit to new things. I'm the temporary guy, but I'm committing us to all kinds of things. Any other questions? Thank you so much.